Was this the bin you're talking about? Yeah, we can click on that. Give me those bottles. Hey, who are you?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Okay, so this is where... Do I have anything perception-wise? No. Probably don't need the torch anymore. I try to shoot the body down. I have a gun.
He still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Alright, I need to use the thing, right? How do I use it? Put it on my face. Inspect the clothing. Get ammonia from the garden fit store. It'll make it easier. Need to suppress the urge to throw up and approach it. Yeah. No, I actually want to know. Like I've got the ammonia. You just need to have it in your inventory? Okay.
There he still is, looking right through you with his what?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
It's a +1 to have ammonia. It's there. So I'm still going to throw up. And I'm a cunified non-vomiter. No shame in throwing up. Do I have any other endurance stuff? I don't think so. Why not the body? I think because the body's rancid. It's gonna get worse. I don't think that's how the game works. Why can't I make this call? Maybe because it was at night time. It's supposed to be a
What do you see?
I don't know. There's supposed to be a skill check here. And like right here. Trash can. It didn't say complete. Where do the complete ones go? Like, none of them say complete. Like, these are all the ones that you haven't completed. Like, that one I can't... Oh, I don't know. The skill check is only determines the number. I don't know, because there's a lot of these that I haven't tried because they were too strong, or some I failed in the early game, but then we stopped trying. Like this. Oh, let's, we should be able to pass that.
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy.
Is it a button or a category? I'll have a look at it after this.
Anti-Centennial Revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
I would like to sleep on gold, hustler style.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
There's a lot to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
So he's addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie.
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Alright, so where's he buried now?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
Oh, I see. So that's the... yeah, alright. It's so brilliant.
People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this art mystery will be solved at a later time. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death.
Nope.
Not that he ever did in life either.
Awesome.
Wow, you work hard.
I do.
Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way.
Yeah, I
and
often
you
ride
won't
till I
let
died.
it break you. That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Oh, and then there's pointing stuff to that suspicious Roy guy.
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style.
Yeah, I guess I've made some gills. Sure.
Sure. And has it been easy?
No.
Is life easy?
No.
Have you not gone into cardiac arrest?
Maybe.
Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the
Definitely
mouth?
not. I pawned my gun.
But you still hustle 24/7, ride
Yep.
or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
It's because of Gart, man.
The Gart man has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your head.
System is broken.
Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor?
I don't know, man. Why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol?
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer state's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking
Wow.
98% of all your money.
98%. That's probably a little high. That's a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Yeah, this isn't helping solve my money problem.
What are you, a racist? Don't be a racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate. Ride or die. Keep it street.
Thanks, man, that hair. I'm sorry to hear about my nipples too.
This guy's appropriating the emerging Boogie Street lingo as part of his sales pitch for the free market economy.
You're trying to sound like a Boogie Street youth to peddle me this stuff, aren't you?
Yeah. Ain't it cool, Ryder? Ain't it street?
It's not.
Hey. Psst.
What?
Psst. Hey.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Get out of here. Wow, you're really trying hard to... Like... Hello, Peeler.
The woman still has her lorry stuck in the traffic jam.
Should we go tell what's his face what we learned? I think we should. Dude, I learned things.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Okay. I think I know what the race enigma is.
And
Okay. Paradoxically, you plan to supersede the Occidentals with their own race theory.
look, Bay. The minion of law is also a racist, but his racism is basic and road. He thinks he has solved the great race enigma
I don't know, you didn't guide me in the prompts.
mechanism of scientific competition.
So unadvanced.
The woman looks half bored.
The basic race education he received in high school has led him to think his phylum are the sole authors of race theory. An esoteric study reaching back to the ancient mass society of Pericarnassus over 4,500 years ago. Basic racist, I take pity on you. You clearly want to enter the harbor bad, like a little boy who wants to go on the potty. I can press the button for you. It will open the door.
I'm not a racist and I don't need your help. But I want the bottles over here.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Let's go over the stuff again. Oh man, I should have chosen the other option that basically said... I can't remember what it said now. You know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Put this into the trash lately?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
There's more to it. What have you got against them?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
What do you mean?
Find out for yourself, endomorphic blob.
Interesting.
There is nothing fun. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
What if we rolled that?
Tibet
That'd be hilarious.
Assyrian. Your love for disco music and Venereal.
Yeah. Alright, later, dude. He could have pushed the button for us, but I wasn't gonna, like... That was almost admitting to it that we were racist. He did push the button for us, though. Because we told him we don't need his help. Oh, can we get bottles in here? Hey, okay, that door's locked and now we can't get out. Whoops. Every worker, member of the board. I got another postcard. La Fumée?
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Atlas?
Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it.
Why Free Cell?
Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Ah, flip through the pages.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
No, we deal with pictures.
After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Interesting. Only 4 issues in and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
Kim, I think
Yours
it's a
in
communist
struggle,
magazine.
the editors.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The
Gonna catch
table
up on
of contents
international developments.
unfolds. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd.
Bear wrestling sounds cool.
Whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Did this guy read my mind?
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kenajinsky himself.
Your PC crashes every time you reconnect a USB device? My son's computer's having that issue. It's having a lot of other issues because it's ancient, but that's one of them.
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
Hang on, tell me more about Uncle Sport.
Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president. Sapormat Sport Kenajinsky is well into his 3rd decade as president of the SRV. Outside Samara, he's known for 3 things: brutal repression of internal dissent, monumental corruption, and a near pathological obsession with physical fitness.
Okay, back to this bear wrestling. Is it bear on bear or human versus bear?
It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases, woman, against one
Okay.
bear. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation.
Or in sometimes when the bear is extremely aggressive, decapitation.
According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
You got to wonder if that's the amount of people that have been destroyed by bears, thus removing them from the census numbers. I guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're out of shape or if you're drunk.
That's very much the idea. President Kaczynski has long maintained that a strong body is the best defense against capitalist aggression.
Kim, do you think there's any chance our case will take us to the
The
SRV?
Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
I thought it might be fun to see a bear fight.
They're quite the spectacle, as I understand. I've heard they make the people in the front rows wear plastic sheets.
Oh!
On account of the blood, you see.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You flip back to the front
The
of the
wet
magazine.
zone.
The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst und Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Why they decided to title this section in Walder is beyond you.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Alright, read the profile.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Okay, what do the communists have to say?
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Well, what's wrong with it?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Alright, so who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines: Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Why?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus?
Once or twice?
Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Fritta.
Yeah, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest.
I mean, it's not like people watch NASCAR for the skill of turning left. It's, for the hope of steel and fireball.
At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Yeah, I'm just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tournée for the races.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
Okay.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Local
the table
concerns?
of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Illegally attempting to evict for simply not paying their rent. That is the most common, simple reason to be evicted. Charging rent to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward.
If that were true, then rich people wouldn't ever get in contractors to make stuff for them, or do services, or anything.
It's true. The rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days.
Well, everyone should eventually.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Yeah, let's put it away. That was... let's go with interesting.
Kingdom of Conscience.
Oh yeah, I thought completed while we were reading that.
The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
Okay. Moralist dialogue options heal +1 morale. We have a singular point of morale. So if we ever lose it, we die, which we found out the hard way. So we have to use medication in dialogue. So this means nothing. We do get a learning cap raised, but I don't think that's going to matter. It's not a good option for us. Oh well.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through the folders.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
We're never going to hit that. I wonder if ones like these, if we're probably not coming back, should we just have a shot at it? Because there's no penalties for losing.
Shut.
Right, except that it makes it harder if you want to try again later. Oh, nice shades. More visual calculus. Oh, actually, I like having the logic, but the visual calculus one's pretty cool as well. Some more morale medicine. A giant aspirin on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on his armrest.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change.
Alright, let's have a look at 10 cents.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
So I have interfacing stuff. We have interfacing gloves.
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lammy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lammy.
No, I mean, what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Do you know me?
No.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Maybe, but I don't even know my name.
If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Right, well that was something. I mean, he tried. I'm not giving you any bonus points for being a mind reader or nothing, you know, like that.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back.
Yeah. Look, Lieutenant.
Yes, it was probably you. It does bear the RCM insignia, after all.
Oh, you think I should get it?
The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes, I do.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips.
Please tell me my... What do we get? Oh, okay. That's just a straight up improvement over that one. How do you get to that? Oh, we got our bag so we can get bottles. That's good. Numerous empty bottles.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
This is where René works. I'm gonna look around.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
Take the picture.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that picture of René?
Look up, it's instinctual to collect evidence.
Fine. But let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Search for a little something to help you out.
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
To read the side effects.
Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, prophet's disease, sudden death,
Sudden
hair
death.
erectile malfunction, critical flatulence, watery blood,
Oh my god.
black mucus,
Why would you?
uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to la opera, inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse.
Why would you subject yourself to that potential?
Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else.
Oh my god, I went up to a woman and actually said, I want to have F with you earlier. What the hell is wrong with me?
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Get up.
You stand and exit the booth.
Yeah, I know, malfunction? Like, what is... Is that like saying in the middle of it, it's just gonna stop doing what you need it to do and, like... Malfunction sounds so much worse, right? It's like it's gonna jam. like misfire out the side or something. Well, is he's trying to get to these coins? He just can't. How do you get on the roof? That's probably another way if you're you have a different way of getting up there. Just reach over. You're right there, MC Escher style.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Allumer on, éteindre off.
I'm not touching the... Shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. Yeah, well, no one's working here. Everyone's like, they've been either on strike or they're forced to strike. Musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. It smells like blood. Dude, we're on our way of naturally being able to stay for 2 days. What's up, dude? Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this Container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, now belongs to Everard.
Hi.
Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't even seem to be waiting for us to answer. You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Alright, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
So, what are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
How is that even possible?
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does.
I hate to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Oh, where is everyone?
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
Yeah, but you don't get paid either.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
What trouble did they get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
Oh, he smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Yeah, but what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hard ease.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
Too rowdy, Leo? What kind of fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
And do you work here?
Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
Okay.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio.
Okay.
But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am.
Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river.
Okay.
4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer?
Oh, the gardener.
The gardener.
Hey, is the union fixer the gardener?
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Hey, what's in the container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Okay, I'm looking for the leader of the dock workers union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this man.
Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course.
Alright, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Leo. Coffee's still warm. Spermated pallets or a marlin? Or a swordfish? Are they the same thing? Taxidermy fish that tells time.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk.
Walrus.
He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. With a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Are you in charge of the dock workers?
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by.
Harry Dubois.
Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up.
You mean your
You
weight?
understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
No, take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Okay, so our initials we saw somewhere were HDB, right? So that's Harry Dubois. Yeah, okay.
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
mean, it's only uncomfortable if you're not into that sort of thing.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say.
I know.
This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a novelty check. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Okay.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Wait, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Okay, let's take it. Put it down as a thing. I'm sure you can officially take it.
Don't mention it. But also, don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun.
Lost gun.
Lost gun.
Happened.
Lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
I would appreciate any help you could provide.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be
Do I have
all
more
right.
morale now? No, I've still only got the one. Even though it shows 2. Or weird, I don't know.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's
that's
going to
meds.
be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
But we know children aren't playing with it because someone bought it.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry.
No, I'm not about
because
to
you
cry.
lost your gun.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Sliding out the chair like a jello shot.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
I'm melting. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you.
That's good.
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but. Say nothing.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
I've opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Alright, but we need to talk about the murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
He flicks his fingers.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hard
I
and
wonder if it's the one behind the
a
cafeteria.
real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
What?
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals.
Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction.
Huh. Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
She seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low-balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
What happened to the previous negotiator?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
But he made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget?
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm
Liar.
beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Alright.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent
I
organization.
wonder if I can get back there.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this, is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
Okay, can I grab the recorder from wherever you're hiding it then?
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
She gonna ask me how I got in?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
As a tactic, I needed to get in somehow.
Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now, and rest assured, no one's gonna hear about it.
He winks at you.
No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Okay, you call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
Oh, so that's really my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion.
My memory's fine. I'm testing you.
His game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Your big fat folder, you say?
Words flow like a river.
I normally
of
just
honey
tuck
from
mine
his
into the
lips.
side of the leg. The folding sounds painful.
I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done. It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Lieutenant, oh,
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge.
have
Do
another
some
look at it.
probing first.
Roll it, Harry.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
It's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Okay, Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
He winks at you.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Okay, my gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in?
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
Okay.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
I will not be blackmailed with this gun business, though.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
Wait, why did we track down our gun?
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
I'm going to leave now. We might talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Oh, great. Who would want to get stuck in here?
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man.
Wait,
Take
what?
care, Harry.
Track down your badge. Open the basement door behind the greenhouse in the backyard to intimidate the occupant. I thought there was one about... Yeah, where was the gun one? Track down your gun. So... It's completed track down our gun, but we actually haven't. We go back here. No, we can't get further back. We have leveled though, so we can take another point somewhere, or we can put it into our stuff and learn something else. And see what we get out of these. I feel like dumping one of these now. Like if we dump the race one. Like something like this, -1 to logic to increase our learning capacity. Like we're not at maximum capacity, so why do we need to have the extra like to go from like having so many of them available? Right, whereas if some of them have a good bonus. Chances are we're going to have this filled up first, so I think maybe filling it up first is probably better. And then trying to find the best ones. A short one. There's no temporary research bonus, so let's see what happened. There could see what the result of having that is. Could be interesting. Okay, we can turn that in at the local Frit store. He's got his office in containers. Sacred and Terrible Air to get published. What's that? I'll have to book one of these guys, right? I think it's quite clear that this was developed more by writers. Publishing costs money. I wonder if there's like a way onto the roof from here, like climbing up. Are we supposed to speak to this guy down here?
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It was nice enough. Utopia.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everett said you have a key to a door.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
He said it belonged to a weasel.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I saw an opportunity, I took it. I'm a hustle grinder.
I'm not so sure about the hustle grind, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
Like family and how it's important that nothing happens to them.
None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for?
Kuno's shack to get to the roof.
To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this weasel task?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
Did you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Any idea who killed the hanged man?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Your share?
Aye.
Wait, so not wages or pensions or...
This stuff. They already covered.
Well, at least you get benefits, that's something.
It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place.
How large a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Yeah, the decision-making process. Yeah, and that's why it doesn't work. If it's the too many cooks, right? If everyone is involved in making the decisions, generally people will only make the decision that's best for them, and what's best for them could actually end up being bad for them in the long run. And it's a very entitled thing. Your company's been around for however many years. I started working here last week. I want an equal share. So that's not how it works, you know. The boss man, what can you tell me about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
I guess I should.
He's probably in his container at the harbor. So head right on in there.
I've already spoken to him, and you know this because I've told you because you gave me a key.
Sure thing.
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
Thanks, dude. And while we're here, we cash in at the Frita. Let's use the tear machine and see how much money we get for all our bottle collecting for the day. No, I haven't got a map yet. Sure that'll be somewhere.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Alright, we're 26.26.
Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears.
We made
with a satisfying
$3.40.
jingle. You're
Wow, we're
a
not going to collect
richer
enough
man
bottles
now.
to last a few days.
You're 100% sure you got special hobo cop money for that tier. At least 100% extra tier money. If the numbers on the machine told you otherwise, it's a lie.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Okay, I need to exchange this novelty check for cash.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash. That was easy. Worryingly so.
Does Frida have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling and Rags?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
Oh, come on, it's gonna be something to work with here.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Alright. Alright, so we have some monies. Oh, 2 curbs. It's a terrible machine.